Do you know you have to do something difficult, but you're not taking action on it? Maybe you know you need to have a conversation with your boss to negotiate going down to 4 days a week, or negotiating that salary, or your plans for career succession. Or maybe you know that you need to figure out where you're going next in your career, but you're not taking the action to figure it out. Wherever you sit, this week's episode is for you. I'm Siobhan Barnes, and I help career women realign their ladders against the right wall so that they can do meaningful work that they love, that supports their own goals and others too. So I want to talk a little bit today about why you might not be taking action on that goal or decision or choice point that you've got to make. And you're not alone in this. The reason why you're not taking action is not because you're fundamentally flawed as a human. There's nothing wrong with you. Really, our minds are hardwired to work in a certain way. We are either going to be moving towards pleasure or moving away from pain. And most of us, our natural default setting is to avoid pain. We don't want to feel the uncomfortable stuff. We don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to be guilted. We don't want to be shamed. We want to stay a part of the tribe. And so what happens is that when we're looking at making certain choice points or making certain decisions, we will either associate pain or pleasure with that particular action. And if you take that particular action, you're going to be bumping up against whether or not it's really worth it, because your mind's job is not to make you happy. Your mind's job is to keep you safe. I'm going to say that again. Your mind's job is not to keep you happy. Your mind's job is to keep you safe. And so when you do have to have a difficult conversation with your boss or your partner, or you have to navigate what your next career step is going to be, and it's not easy, there's the unknown, there's the potential for rejection, your mind is naturally going to associate pain with that, and it's going to try and avoid it at all costs. So you're not bad, you're not wrong if that's what you do. You're simply associating pain with what it is that's ahead of you. Now, most of us go about life trying to avoid pain, right? Like, we might not have that difficult conversation with your partner when things aren't going right. You might just let things slide at work and let that person continue to say things that you don't agree with, or not set a boundary because you don't want to rock the boat. And then what happens is we make these micro decisions in our life where we start to not stand up for who we are and what we believe in, and we concede to what other people want. And so life can sometimes take this form of following the path, showing up in a way that doesn't cause any ripples or offense to anybody, and then we're just going down this stream of status quo, versus being very intentional and clear in who we are, what has meaning for us, and what actually has pleasure for us, and going after that. It's a very different way of operating. And so if you feel like your default is still in the avoidance of pain, you're totally not alone. That makes a lot of sense. Most people are. I would encourage you to think about how you can start to rewire and look for the things that do cause you to feel pleasure. What is it that you really want? What is it that's really important to you? What is it that you want to set a boundary on or go after and take action on? Spoiler alert, if you feel like you want to do something that has pain associated with it, you've got to put something on it that will make it feel pleasurable. So let's take the example of starting a new health regime. What you want to do is tell your mind that there is a reward attached to it. You're going to feel healthy, you're going to feel strong, and give yourself a reward for showing up at the gym or going to yoga class or taking that spin class, and getting over the inertia of the pain that's going to come with it. Because let's be honest, you're going to be sweaty, you'll probably be really uncomfortable, it's not going to be fun at first, but you've got to see the attachment to the pleasure in order to keep going. So just some food for thought for you this week, and I would love to hear from you. Number one, what is the thing that you know you need to do in your life right now? Do you need to have a conversation? Do you need to have some action taken towards a new career? What is it that you really need to do? And number two, are you going to commit to looking at how you can have more pleasure associated with that, how you can actually work against the old regimes of focusing on avoiding pain and instead work towards moving towards pleasure? Leave a comment for me below. I would love to know. Wishing you a beautiful week.